Danielle from Occupational Therapy, and today, as part of the occupational therapy evaluation process, I'm going to have you complete a form called the sensory processing measure. This is a rating scale that assesses potential difficulties that your child may have with sensory processing, as well as praxis and social participation. So before I get into the specifics of the assessment, I just want to give you a brief explanation of sensory processing, and that way you have a basic understanding of it and understand why we assess it. So sensory processing refers to the ability of the central nervous system to take in sensory information from the environment and from the body. And its job is to organize it and interpret it so the child can respond adaptively to the environment. So these adaptive responses include appropriate motor, behavior, and also emotional and social responses. And this is what allows the child to engage in their daily activities. Do you have any questions on that?
No.
No? Okay. So now when a child has difficulty with sensory processing, it impacts their ability to respond to this sensory information, which in turn affects their ability to learn, to engage socially, and even move. As occupational therapists, we're concerned in successful engagement in daily occupations. So with difficulties in sensory processing, that can affect the main occupations of a child, which is to learn, to play, and to socialize. So now this is the portion of the assessment that we're going to be filling out today, and it's the home form of the sensory processing measure, and it contains 75 items or questions, and this encompasses the areas of social participation, vision, hearing, touch, taste and smell, body awareness, balance and motion, planning, and ideas. So you basically just have to answer the questions about your child's behavior in the past month, and using the following rating scale. So you have never, which the behavior occurs never or almost never.
Mm-hmm.
You have occasionally, so it happens some of the time. Frequently, it happens most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Or always, it happens always, or close to always. So it should take about 15 to 20 minutes to complete. I'd like to complete the first portion with you, which is social participation, and then I will leave you to complete the rest on your own.
Okay.
Do you have any questions about the
Nope.
process? Okay. So if I could have you just fill in the background information at the top of the page.
Okay.
And just confirm the age of your child.
10.
10. Okay. All right, so the first question is, does your child play with friends cooperatively? And this would be without, excessive arguments.
Occasionally.
Occasionally. Okay. So you can just go in right there. All right, how about interacts well with parents and other significant adults? And this includes communication, follows directions.
I would say occasionally for that one also.
What about shares things when asked?
Frequently.
Okay, and how is he carrying on a conversation without standing too close to someone?
I would say occasionally.
Okay, and maintains appropriate eye contact during conversation?
That's a tough one. I would say occasionally on that one also.
Okay. Is that with just other adults, or is that with
Pretty much with anybody.
anybody?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it doesn't matter if he's close or if it's a stranger.
Yeah, no, and even with when he does give eye contact, a lot of times his facial expressions are not appropriate for the situation.
Okay.
Like if it's a very serious situation, if he makes eye contact with you, he'll tend to giggle or laugh and think that it's funny.
Okay.
So
So the next question is, does he join and play without disrupting the ongoing activity that he's joining in?
I would say frequently. For that
Frequently,
one.
okay. And how about, does he take part in appropriate mealtime, conversation and interaction?
Frequently.
And is that related to your home environment as well as the community if you guys were outside
Yeah, he's pretty good.
in restaurants?
He's actually sometimes better in restaurants
Oh,
than
that's
he is
good.
at home, amazingly enough.
And how about to participate in appropriately in family outings such as museums, going to the park?
That's kind of a toss-up because it really depends on the day, but I'm gonna say frequently
Okay.
because most of the time he's fine, but at any given time he could not be fine. So
Okay.
depending on the the environment. So
Is there certain activities that he's not, that he acts out?
I would say the more busy, between sounds and lights and the amount of people that are in a place is depending on if he's going to have a good day or a bad day.
Okay.
Usually the louder, the brighter, the more people, the more he is apt to act out or, have a meltdown, I would say.
Okay.
But if it's, like the park obviously is a better place than a museum or like a science center or movies, he's usually okay, even
Yeah.
with the loud sounds for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But
Okay, and how about to participate appropriately in family gatherings such as holidays?
I would say
parties?
frequently
Okay.
because we do that a lot and he's usually fine.
And then the last question in this section is how does he participate in activities with friends if he does it appropriately?
I'm gonna say occasionally on that only because there's a lot of things with friends that he can't do that they can do. So
Developmental ones?
yeah. I mean, it like the skateboard and bikes. He can do a scooter, but he can't do skateboards or bikes. But like going to parties and going to the mall, he's fine with that stuff. So I guess it depends on the activity.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So thank you for your cooperation and your participation, and I'm just going to have you complete the rest of the form on your own.
Okay.
And results from this will be combined with the main classroom and school environment forms to kind of gather a comprehensive view of how your child does with sensory processing skills within the home, school, and community settings. So
Perfect.
all right, thank you.
Thank you.